30 days ago, I started this ant colony. To see how it happened, let's go back to day 1. This test tube may look dirty and empty, but it's the start of a brand new kingdom. Because inside of it is the start of my 6th queen Lasius flavus colony. The first step of making this powerful colony is building them a home. I use sand and mosses to create a natural ecosphere for my ants. As I placed them around, I tried to mimic the natural habitat these ants come from, but instead of your nan's food cupboard, I tried to base it on a forest floor. I moved the ants into their new nest by gently tapping them into it. This is one pupae, and this, and this, and this, and this. These pupae will eventually turn into worker ants. Although I said this was a 3-queen colony, there's only 3 queens here. So you may be wondering where they are. But first I have to secure the nest into the outworld. I secured it tightly with the fitting lid it came with. And now onto the 3 missing queens. Place the test tube on top before gently tapping the queens into the new nest. A few workers and eggs and pupae also fell in, which is a bonus. I sealed the lid and now all 6 queens were in the terrarium. This queen is surrounded by an army of small worker ants, and this queen is trying to escape by climbing up the glass walls. If you look carefully in the first queen's mouth, you can see a little baby pupa, possibly a few days before emerging. She's holding on to this like it's her newborn child, which it quite literally is. You can see her little brain think as she looks around for a place to call home. She eventually went in, but decided it's not for her. You can also see that she is damaged. This is not from the fall, as when I caught her, she must have fell from the nuptial flight. She should be fine, and it could probably heal. All queens were now in, and I could finally stop worrying about them getting along. Here, the other 3 queens are waiting for their sisters to join them. All the worker ants are tending to their small siblings and their mothers, making sure they're all well kept. Outside the nest, it was all quiet, and that's the end of day 1. A few days have passed, and I've decided to check on the nest. Inside, we can see the humidity has fogged up the glass, but that should be okay, as these ants love high humidity chambers. Here, 4 of the queens are enjoying the less humid side of the nest, possibly indicating that I should water it less. No ants had yet ventured into their outworld, so I decided it was time for a change. It was finally time for a feeding. This common fly is going to be their food for the next week, so I gently placed it into their outworld. A few days later, I checked inside the nest to find that more pupae had developed. More workers had also hatched, filling up the nest even more. A few more days later. Even more worker ants had hatched, and the colony was growing every day. A few more weeks had passed, and the colony was growing alongside. You can see more workers hatching. A few more days had passed, and I checked inside the colony to see that even more workers had hatched. At this point, the colony was getting out of control. Day 30. I could tell something was up with the colony, and it was finally time to introduce an apex predator. The ants waited as they noticed something was not right. A few workers checked the entrance to make sure everything was clear. One worker in particular was really interested in the front entrance of their nest. Guarding it like a wolf before a creature entered the nest. This is an earwig. The queens didn't notice, but all the workers did, and they ran to flock to it. More workers showed up as they tried to climb it, for one brave ant quite literally jumped on an opportunity.
And his name is John C.
In this time lapse, you can see the workers gathering against the earwig, making sure it doesn't harm the queens or the babies. They all tried to pin him down before eventually it seemed like they had done the job. Before it decided to strike back, attacking anything in its way. A few of the ants tried to stop it, but without backup they couldn't do anything. Once backup arrived, they tied his antenna together and ripped each leg off individually. You can see the workers gathering around it, while some of them stayed behind to protect their queens and babies. Over the last 30 days, this colony has gone from only knowing a test tube to having a giant terrarium ecosystem all for themselves, including a built-in nest. These ants thrived, going from a few to possibly hundreds of workers.